We're so glad you dropped by. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you, to you and your home and your family. We're so glad that we could spend this time together. You know, a lot of people wonder, we focus this time in November for Thanksgiving, but really, that's not the only time that we should be thankful. I feel like Thanksgiving is an attitude of your heart. And it's easy to just be thankful if you remember to do it, not take things for granted. But we've got so much to be thankful for. We live in a wonderful country, the best country in the world. And God has provided so much for us. And we really have a lot to be thankful for. If you're sitting there and you can't think of one thing to be thankful for, shame on you. No, I'm serious. If you got out of bed this morning and you're able to function and move about, thank God. Here's what the psalmist said in Psalms 100. Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. Know ye that the Lord, he is good. It is he that hath made us, and not we ourselves. We are his people, and the sheep of his pasture. Enter into his gates with thanksgiving, and into his courts with praise. Be thankful unto him, and bless his name. For the Lord is good. I can say a big amen there. And his mercy is everlasting. And his truth endureth to all generations. To all generations. That's your generation, my generation, to all generations. So if you've not had a thankful heart, you've kind of been like in a slump a while, I want to say today, as we're preparing our Thanksgiving feast, start to change the attitude in your heart and say, you know what, God, help me to be more mindful of the things I really genuinely am thankful for. We've got a lot of goodies doing today because we're doing all side dishes. And it's kind of a laid-back Thanksgiving. This isn't like a big, full-blown, the masses are coming. This is just for 4, 5, 6 people, just at a small, intimate Thanksgiving. We thought we'd do that for something different. So hang on to your hats, and we'll be back right after the hint with more of our Thanksgiving dinner. Here's today's at-home hint. To thaw your turkey quickly, immerse wrapped turkey in cold water and change the water every half hour to keep it cold. Thawing a 10-pound turkey this way takes about 5 hours.
If you have an at-home hint, a favorite recipe, or just a friendly greeting you'd like to share, we'd like to hear from you. Post it in the comments of this video or visit our Facebook page.
Well, to begin with our Thanksgiving side dishes, I want to make a wonderful sweet potato. It's called Streusel sweet potatoes. And what would Thanksgiving dinner be without sweet potatoes? That's just kind of a tradition, started back, I guess, with the Pilgrims. I don't know, in the Indians, but we love them. And all we've done was taken about 6 sweet potatoes or yams. Remember, the orangier ones are yams. The lighter color ones are the sweet potatoes. Doesn't really matter. They have about the same taste. But we boiled them for just a few minutes, peeled them, boiled them, and then let them cool. And then we cut them in half-inch slices, just like that. And we have them in our casserole. Now we're going to mix together some orange juice. Let's see, put that in our little bowl here. And maple syrup. Now, there's a lot of different kinds of maple syrup. There's some that's like all sugar and little maple flavoring. If you really want this to be good, get good maple syrup. That's what makes the difference. And we're going to mix that together. Make sure we know what we're doing here, okay? Yeah, we do. And then we're just going to pour that right on top of our sweet potatoes. I like stuff that you can do ahead of time. You could do this like the night before, put them in the fridge, then just bring them out, let them come to room temperature, and then you go ahead right before you do your dinner. That's great. Now we're just going to dot it with some little bits of butter, because these are going to bake for about a half hour. Then you're going to bring them out and put a streusel topping with pecans and some little bit of brown sugar. Just make it like crunchy on the top, which is great. Now, I've been making that sweet potato souffle for the last few years, and I like it, but sometimes you just wanted something different, to go back to something that you maybe have done before, try something new. Now, my mom made the best candied sweets you ever ate in your life, but I haven't had them for a while, and I was thinking about that this year, too. But I think we're going to enjoy this one. Okay, now we're going to do that, and then we're going to cover it with some foil. And we're not in our at-home kitchen today. We're at a dear friend's house because I told you before we're still turning it around from Pastor Greg, from the taping of that. So appreciate you bearing with us. That's something to be thankful for. Soon we'll be back in our kitchen, right? Okay, now this is going to go into a preheated 350-degree oven. And it's going to bake for about 30 minutes. Okay, 30 minutes. That's simple. When you bring that back out, and then you'll take the foil off, and then you're going to mix some flour, 1/4 of a cup of flour, and then 3 tablespoons of light brown sugar. Okay, and about a 1/2 teaspoon, eyeball it, of cinnamon. You like more, do more. You like less, do less. Okay, and pecans, 1/3 of a cup of coarsely chopped pecans. You like walnuts? You can use walnuts, whatever. It's up to you. And this is just going to go on the top when we bring it back out, okay? So we're going to set this aside. What you'll do then is just put this on the top, and you're going to do the streusel topping. That'll bake it wonderful, okay? That's the first one. Simple, aren't they? Easy to go. The next one's going to be our savory Indian corn pudding. Kind of like the sweet potatoes, you always kind of want something like a corn pudding. Paul's mom and my mom always did corn puddings, and they're great. Wouldn't be Thanksgiving without a corn pudding. We just sprayed our casserole dish, and in preparation for our pudding, we have about 1.5 cups of the corn kernels, okay? And what we've done here is taken a red onion and a red pepper and just sauteed them together in a couple tablespoons of butter, and we have that's going to go in to our corn, okay? And you just want to make sure you get all the juices, because that's good flavor. Smells so good. You know, Thanksgiving is such a wonderful time to incorporate friends, family, maybe a neighbor next door that doesn't have much family. Why don't you include them in your festivities this year? I think it would be something that they would enjoy, and it would make you feel good. They'd have a lot to be thankful for. Okay, now we're going to add the corn. Now we're going to add some cheddar cheese. This is shredded cheddar, about 3/4 of a cup, okay? And we're going to do 3 eggs beaten, just like that. Mix them up pretty good, okay? And then we have some fresh basil, about a tablespoon of fresh basil. There is a big difference, and it does make a difference to use fresh if you can. That's good. And let me see, make sure, salt and pepper. How much salt? Let's see, we don't want to put too much. To taste, I would probably do about a 1/2 teaspoon in there. And then pepper, you could put cayenne in here if you'd like, whatever, but I'm going to eyeball that with about 1/4 teaspoon. Now we just mix this together, like so. Yummy, yummy. And we're going to add some milk. That's going to make like a custard for it. Okay. Mix that really well together. Smell of this is just great. Nothing like that smell of that turkey going to town in the oven. Boy, with all the smells for this is great. Okay, now we're going to pop this into our prepared casserole. And we're going to put this in the oven. This one bakes for a 1/2 hour at 350 degrees. And you're really going to want to try to make things that the oven is on about the same temperature so that you can bake them all at one time instead of like, oh, this is 375, this is 325, that's 400. If you only have one oven, that'll drive you nuts. So you don't want to do that. Try to adjust the times and the temperatures, or just make things that all have the same temperature. All right, this one's going in the oven for 350 for a 1/2 hour, and we'll be right back with more of our Thanksgiving dinner.
Do you love watching At Home with Arlene Williams? Then be sure to check out our new YouTube channel. It's filled with classic episodes from over 20 years of At Home, and more videos are added each day. And don't forget to click the subscribe button so you'll never miss another episode of At Home.
Our next side dish that we're doing for our Thanksgiving dinner today is with a head of fresh cauliflower And you just take it, you cut it into the florets, that's what this is, a floret, and you put it in water with a little bit of vinegar. Vinegar gives it a fresh flavor and keeps it nice and white. Now you let it cool down, and now we've got some butter in our saucepan here, in our fry pan. And I'm just going to put some broccoli into the butter, like this. You don't want them in little pieces, you want them kind of in the bigger pieces. You might have to do 2 batches at a time. And you're just going to let this fry up, get some color to it. And we're going to put a crumb topping on it, which is delicious. You'll like that, but you put that on a medium-high heat and let that cook for a little while, and then we're going to keep coming back to it, okay? So we've got the cauliflower working in a skillet. It's going to cook for about 5 minutes. Then we're going to put some salt and pepper on it, and we're going to come back to it. In the meantime, we're going to make our traditional or non-traditional pumpkin pie. But this isn't called pumpkin pie. It's called pumpkin pie cake. I know, I'm confused. But it has the ingredients, the stuff that we like the most. And of course, it has to have pumpkin. What would Thanksgiving dinner be without pumpkin? First of all, we take a 15 or 16 ounce can, which is one whole little can, not the, you don't want that, you want the pumpkin. And we're going to put that in our bowl. Meantime, you want to have a 13 by 9 glass baking dish, buttered really, really well. Because that's what we're going to make our dessert in. Okay? And there we go. Next, we're going to add a 12-ounce can of evaporated milk right in with the pumpkin. This is similar ingredients that you have with pumpkin pie, and that's what makes it good. But this is a cake. It's easier. I think it's a whole lot easier to serve, and also it goes further than a pie. If you wanted to put an apple pie with this, that would be great, but just a little something different, okay? And we have a cup of brown sugar, 3 large eggs, okay, and 4 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice. That's what gives it the flavor. Oh boy. And so there's pumpkin pie, so incredible. And it's really a mixture of cloves and cinnamon and some mace and that type. If you don't have it, cinnamon will do very well. Okay, what else? Let me see if I have anything else. Nope, that's it. Now we're gonna mix this up really well. You wanna preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Okay, and this, you could do this with a mixer. You don't have to, you can do it by hand, whatever's easiest, because this has to refrigerate. So you want to make this the morning of Thanksgiving. You'd want to make this like the night before, which is great because then you have it out of the way and you don't have to worry about, oh my goodness, I have to get this done, I have to do that. Not necessary, okay? Now we're going to mix this well. And we're going to pour this into our prepared baking dish, which is right here. Just like that, nice and creamy. Okay. Get all the goodies like Mama says, you know. I always remember as a kid, Thanksgiving was one of those special days. My brothers, you know, they'd wait for the football games to come on, or they'd be playing games and stuff, and Mama and me'd be in the kitchen, and I have to do this. And she always made like a lemon pie or some kind of a pie like that would have to be cooled down. And I'd be standing out on the porch November morning, whipping this stuff to make sure that it got cooled down so she could finish making her pies. But, oh, those are great memories. Just sitting around the table with my family. Somebody there that was new or didn't have any place else to go was at our table. I'm just taking 1 box of yellow cake mix, and all I'm doing is spreading this right on top of that pumpkin. Dry, don't mix it up, nothing. Just spread it right on top. Cover the top, like that. All over. Use the whole box, but make sure it's covered well. Okay? Yeah, there we go. Now, we're going to add some pecans. Taking it to another level. I'm just going to spread some pecans. You could use walnuts if you wanted, whatever you have, but you want to do it evenly. And then, melted butter goes on top, because that's going to make an incredible. Now this has to bake for 50 minutes, and then you're going to bring it out, let it cool to room temperature, and then you're going to put it into the refrigerator, wrap it and put it in the refrigerator, and it has to chill overnight to make it really, really good. Let's take a look back here again. Oh yeah, they're getting there. Little by little. I'm going to bring up the temperature a little bit higher on this because you want these to really get going for you. And then we're going to, there you go. See how they're getting brown? Oh, that's beautiful. That's what we're looking for. I'm going to go ahead and salt and pepper. Just lightly salt and pepper. If you like a lot of pepper, put it on. This is a good time to do it. Okay? And we're going to keep turning these. This should cook about 4 or 5 minutes, maybe 6 minutes, until you get a nice brown coating going on all of that. I'm going to let them go just a little bit more. And while that's going, come with me. I want to show you this other incredible stuffing that we're going to put together very quickly that's totally different than probably you've ever tasted. We have the stuffing in the bird, but I thought, let's look for something. Okay, I'm wearing the flour there. Okay, this is so easy, incredibly easy. 2 cups of toasted bread cubes. Take your bread, cut them in squares, put them in the oven until they toast and they get crisp, okay? 2 cups of mashed potatoes. Stay with me here now. Don't say, oh, Arlene, please. Stay with me. You're going to like it. 2 cups of chopped apple. And that's the Granny Smith. You can use whatever kind of apple that you like the best. 1 medium onion chopped fine. Okay, get a couple of these big pieces out of there. And, let me see, sage. We have sage there. A cup of raisins. Doesn't this sound incredibly easy? Yum, yum. All the stuff you like, huh, Mike? Okay, and a 1/2 cup melted butter. Okay, we have to get that. And then, while they're getting that, I'm going to mix this up really well. See, that mashed potatoes in there makes a completely different idea. I think most everybody would go along with the apples and the raisins and the bread and that, but you put the mashed potatoes in there. Did somebody make a mistake? Well, I don't know. I think you're going to find this pretty interesting. Okay? Then, while they're getting me the melted butter, we're going to add that to this. Then we're going to add some chicken broth, too, to thin it down. Now, we add the butter because that gives it a flavor. Okay? But we add this to really, it's going to be awesome. Put this in a greased casserole, like so. And this one's going to bake for about, 30 minutes. You're going to put the foil on it while you bake it, and then you take the foil off. Well, you've got a lot of things going on. When we come back, we're going to be in the dining room, and we're going to show you our entire Thanksgiving dinner. Stay with us.
Just go to ctvn.org/athome to get all the recipes from today's show for free. That's right, no subscriptions. They're available online at no cost, and more are being added each day. So join us at ctvn.org/athome to get today's recipes now.
Well, here we are at the table in the dining room, totally loaded with all kind of good things. But you know what? Even better is some friends that dropped by, Aaron and Trish, and of course my husband Paul. So we're just having a small little intimate, looks like a lot of food, Thanksgiving, but we're going to enjoy it all. And we hope that you will enjoy yours with your family. Let's start here. I just did the turkey breast this year and just roasted it with a little bit of stuffing with it. Besides that, we've made our apple stuffing, which that's going to be good. I think we're all going to like that one. This is our Indian savory corn pudding. Oh, I can't wait to dip into that. Over here we have the Streusel sweet potato casserole down there in the front. And when you bring that out of the oven, you just want to drizzle a little bit more of that maple syrup on top of it. Oh boy. This is our crumb coated cauliflower, which is just something, doesn't have a lot of fancy stuff to it, but has a real good flavor. Added some mashed potatoes down there by Trish and some regular stuffing that we did in the turkey, the inside of the breast. And you know what? This is food fit for a king. But I was telling Trish and Aaron and Paul, at our table every year, my dad would have the Bible, and he always read a verse. So this is appropriate. Thou art my God, and I will praise thee. Thou art my God, I will exalt thee. Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good, for his mercy endureth forever. I hope that that is being real into your life, that you will gather your family around like we've gathered family and friends, and that you will really make Thanksgiving an attitude of your heart. It's really, really important. anybody can just say this or say that, but when someone says thank you to you, don't you appreciate it? Most of all, let's thank God for the country we live in, for the freedoms that we have, for the worship freedoms that we have, because there's nothing like being in God's house, worshiping God and thanking Him for His goodness. So I would encourage you, okay, you have a wonderful day on Thursday, you have all the ball games, you have all, maybe on Friday you do some shopping, maybe more shopping on Saturday, but how about Sunday? Let's go to church, okay? I hope you have a great Thanksgiving, and we're going to dig in here, dig in with your family, and be sure to join us the next time, because it just wouldn't be the same without you here at home. We'll see you then. Happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy. Pretend like we're...
Furnishings provided by Levin Furniture, featuring Lane's Country Living Collection. Food provided by Jordan Banana Company, wholesalers of fresh fruit and vegetables in Trevosburg, Pennsylvania.
Don't forget to click the subscribe button so you'll never miss another episode of At Home. Thank you for watching.
Cornerstone Television wishes to thank all our faithful viewers whose consistent prayers and financial support have made this program possible.